Welcome back to TPS. Madden ratings aren't supposed to be a big deal, right? I mean, it's strictly a video game and the ratings of players don't have any effect on their careers whatsoever. Still, NFL players take pride in earning high ratings from EA Sports, so when they're inexcusably screwed with a low rating, it's always going to lead to outcries among the NFL and Madden Universe. Here's a look at one player from every NFL team that got totally screwed in their Madden 21 rating. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Arizona Cardinals, Kenyon Drake, 82. The Cardinals acquired Drake in a 2019 midseason trade with the Miami Dolphins. Drake was explosive in Cliff Kingsbury's offense, recording 643 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, averaging 5.2 yards per carry. Sorry, but that should garner a rating of at least 85. A full season with Kingsbury and Kyler Murray sign us up for a Kenyon Drake breakout year. Falcons, Matt Ryan, 87. How does one of the league's most prolific passers only get an 87? He can't be 6 points behind Drew Brees and certainly not 3 points behind 43-year-old Tom Brady. Ryan has to be in the 90s club here, no ifs, ands, or buts. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 94. Jackson won the MVP award last year and therefore should have been a 99 or 98. A 97 rating would have been minimally acceptable, but nope. The Madden 2021 cover was disrespected with a rating of 94. How's that possible? Leading the league with 36 touchdown passes while rushing for a single season QB record of 1,206 yards wasn't enough for the Madden developers. Buffalo Bills, Tre'Davious White, 89. He's got to be in the 90s club. He has to be. The Bills' Pro Bowl corner is coming off his best season yet. 6 interceptions and 17 passes defended, and White only yielded a 50% completion percentage when targeted. Don't you think a guy who's not far behind Mr. 99, Stephon Gilmore, should be somewhere in the 90s too? If you ask us, White deserved at least a 94. Carolina Panthers, DJ Moore, 85. Moore followed up a stellar rookie year with a monster sophomore season, 87 catches for 1,175 yards and 4 touchdowns. And that was with 3 different quarterbacks in Carolina feeding him the football. So how can Moore only garner an 85 rating? It's heinous. Give him something in the high 80s. Chicago Bears, Raquan Smith, 83. Smith has displayed the makings of being a future superstar and multi-time Pro Bowler. He's been an anchor on a Bears defense that ranked 1st and 4th in scoring defense in 2018 and 19 respectively. So the 83 rating from Madden doesn't make much sense to us. Teammate Eddie Goldman scored a higher rating of 84 overall. At any rate, Smith's rating should jump up big time next year. The Bengals, Tyler Boyd, 83. How does this make much sense? 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Boyd equals an 83 rating. Teammate A.J. Green, who missed the entire 2019 season, checked in at 88 overall. Switch those ratings around, Madden developers. Make Boyd the 88 and Green the 83. Browns, Jarvis Landry, 85. The Browns were a colossal disappointment in 2019, but that wasn't at the fault of Landry. He was one of the team's few consistent players last season, recording 83 catches for 1,174 yards and 6 touchdowns. Teammate Odell Beckham Jr., who wasn't as productive last year, got a rating of 91. That doesn't make sense. The better receiver from 2019 should have the better grade, simple as that. Cowboys, Dak Prescott, 84. Prescott is a top 10 quarterback in football. He had 4,102 passing yards and 30 touchdowns last year. So please tell us how the 84 rating makes sense. Oh wait, that's right, it doesn't. Prescott was one of the many great quarterbacks who got screwed with his rating here. This is downright embarrassingly low. Give him at least an 88. Denver Broncos, Cortland Sutton, 84. Sutton enjoyed a breakout year in 2019 with 72 catches for 1,117 yards and 6 touchdowns. That was with the Broncos using 3 different quarterbacks. That makes Sutton's 2019 season all the more admirable. But a rating of 84? Really, this guy looked like a top 10 receiver last season. He could even do better with a full year of Drew Lock. So how do you only give him an 84? Expect him to be in the high 80s or early 90s midseason. The Lions, Matthew Stafford, 83. Stafford would have come very close to 5,000 yards in 2019 if a back injury didn't force him to miss the entire second half. He was playing like a dark horse MVP candidate before that. So how can you give this guy an 83? Oh yeah, never mind. Seems like half of the game's top quarterbacks are getting screwed in their Madden ratings. Speaking of that, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 89. He's only a top 5 quarterback in football, but go ahead and rate Rodgers outside of the 90s. And do rate him behind Tom Brady, who's displayed major signs of regression as he enters his age 43 season. Rodgers has to be at least a 92 here. Texans Deshaun Watson, 86. Yes, an elite quarterback being screwed in his Madden 21 rating. Where have y'all heard that one before? Here's an idea. Change the rating and put Watson in the 90s. If you ask us, we'd say a 94, 95, but an embarrassingly slow 86 will do, we suppose. Colts Darius Leonard, 85. Leonard has quickly emerged as one of the NFL's elite linebackers. The 2018 Defensive Rookie of the Year recorded over 1,000 tackles for the second straight season. We can't wait to see what he does with DeForest Buckner on that front seven going forward. Oh, and by the way, Leonard belongs in the 90s club here. We suppose Madden will just have to change that mid-season when Leonard dominates again. Jaguars Josh Allen, 81. How were 7 Jaguars rated higher than Allen here? The standout linebacker was arguably their best player last season, recording 10.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. You know he's going to reach another level of greatness in 2020. Gotta put Allen in the high 80s at least, no excuses. Chiefs Frank Clark, 83. Aside from Patrick Mahomes, Clark was arguably the Chiefs' most valuable player during the postseason. Clark, who's recorded at least 8 sacks in 4 straight years, had 5 sacks in the 3 playoff games, helping KC win Super Bowl 54. That dominance and consistent production should have brought Clark into the high 80s, but no, he got screwed in his rating big time. Las Vegas Raiders Derek Carr, 79. We're not fully sold on Carr as a championship caliber quarterback, but come on, the dude deserves more respect than this. The 3-time Pro Bowler had a productive 2019 season, finishing with 4,054 yards and 21 touchdowns against only 8 interceptions. Sorry, but the dude has to be in the mid-80s here. 79, that's like a rookie or backup quarterback rating, and Carr is way better than that. Chargers Desmond King, 88. King has been quietly one of the NFL's elite corners over the last 2 seasons. He's just overshadowed by Derwin James and Casey Hayward in a star-studded secondary. For example, PFF graded King as the NFL's second-best corner for the 2018 season at 90.4. He wasn't as dominant in 2018, but King was pretty darn good. He should be in the 90s here, but hey, 88 isn't that bad by any means. The Rams Robert Woods, 86. Woods recorded a career-high 90 receptions last season, and he crossed 1,000 yards for the second straight year. How can he only come in at 86 overall? Teammate punter Johnny Hekker was rated higher at 86. Woods deserves to be in that 88 to 91 range. 86 just isn't good enough for a receiver of his caliber. Dolphins Devontae Parker, 84. Parker finally broke out last season with 72 catches for 1,202 yards and 9 touchdowns. He put a cherry on top of his 2019 by absolutely embarrassing Defensive Player of the Year Stephon Gilmore in Week 17, leading Miami to an upset victory over New England. Parker looks capable of becoming a top 5 or 10 receiver in football, and a guy who hits 1,000 yards has to be an 86 or better. Parker belongs in the high 80s or low 90s. 84 for Parker, that's one of the absolute worst ratings in Madden 21. Vikings Anthony Harris, 83. Harris enjoyed his best season yet for the Vikings, compiling 6 interceptions and 11 passes defended. PFF handed him a spectacular 90.5 rating for the year. Harris also didn't allow a single touchdown in coverage, according to Pro Football Reference. So why is this guy only rated 83, EA Sports? Harris was a superstar last year, a grade A ball hawker, and a game changer. Please move him into the 90s ASAP. Thanks. New England Patriots Joe Thuney, 85. Thuney received second-team All-Pro honors with the Pats in 2019, having allowed just 1 sack without taking a single penalty all season. No wonder Bill Belichick put the franchise tag on him. Thuney was borderline elite last year. He's one of the premier guards in football. The 2-time Super Bowl champion had to be in the 87 to 90 range, don't you think? Saints Ryan Ramczyk, 91. Honestly, Ramczyk has to be a 95 or better. We wouldn't even complain if he was a 99. Ramczyk earned first-team All-Pro honors in 2019 after allowing, wait for it, 0 sacks. PFF rated him as the 9th best player from last season. And you see why the high rating of 91 is still a little too low for us. There's no such thing as a perfect tackle, but Ramczyk is pretty darn close. Hence why we want a 95 rating or better for him. Giants Saquon Barkley, 91. EA Sports received plenty of backlash for giving Barkley an 89 overall rating, so he was bumped up to 91. Newsflash, that's still too low. Yes, Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb were the 2 leading rushers last year. We still wouldn't grade them higher than Barkley, and if Christian McCaffrey is getting a 99, Barkley has to at least be a 97. Come on now, Madden. Let's not forget how explosive and unstoppable Barkley is when he's at full strength. The Jets, Jamison Crowder, 80. Crowder turned in a phenomenal first season with the Jets. Sam Darnold and the offense didn't pick it up until the second half, but Crowder finished with 78 catches for 833 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's a threat for 1,000 yards, especially if Darnold is healthy. Crowder has to be somewhere close to the 83-86 range. And 80, he's much better than that. Eagles Carson Wentz 84. See what we said about Dak Prescott. He's a top 10 quarterback in the game, getting highly underrated once again. Wentz put up very good numbers last season despite a plethora of injuries to key offensive players. If they're healthy, Wentz will be an MVP candidate in 2020. Please change his rating to 88 or better. EA Sports, he's way better than an 84. Steelers TJ Watt 86. He's one of the NFL's elite pass rushers, plain and simple. 27.5 sacks over the last 2 years, 14.5 alone in 2019, plus 8 passes defended and as many forced fumbles. And this guy isn't in the 90s, yeah, that's not good. What else is it going to take to put him there? 49ers Nick Bosa 89. Bosa came every bit as advertised, winning the Defensive Rookie of the Year award after leading San Fran to a Super Bowl 54 appearance. Bosa deserved a rating in the 90s based on last season, but you know he's going to take his game to another level in 2020. By midseason, don't be surprised if he's up for 95 or 96. Seahawks Quandre Diggs 80. The Seahawks acquired Diggs in a midseason trade with the Lions, and boy oh boy did he ever help turn that secondary around. Diggs only allowed 2 completions when targeted in his 5 games with Seattle last season. Diggs probably would have received a better grade if he spent the full season in Seattle. At any rate, he's on his way to a massive rating boost. He won't be this low for long. Buccaneers Shaquille Barrett 85. A kind reminder that Barrett led the NFL with 19.5 sacks last year, so what's the deal with the 85 rating? Madden must think he's a one-hit wonder or something. I don't know, I'd give this guy at least an 88, believing that he'll hit double-digit sacks again. Titans A.J. Brown 81. This one is especially puzzling to us. Brown led the AFC runner-ups with 52 receptions for 1,051 yards and 8 touchdowns last season. It was one of the best rookie seasons for a wide receiver in recent memory, and you're only giving this guy an 81? Brown was one of the NFL's most prolific and explosive receivers in 2019. Without him, Ryan Tannehill doesn't win Comeback Player of the Year, and the Titans don't go all the way to the AFC Championship game. This rating ought to change soon. Brown deserves something in the high 80s. He could very well be in the 90s by season's end. Washington, Terry McLaurin, 82. Washington used 3 starting quarterbacks and 2 different head coaches in a dismal 2019 season. And yet, rookie Terry McLaurin still racked up 58 receptions for 119 yards and 7 touchdowns, simply given the lack of talent around him. Well, McLaurin's superb rookie season didn't really catch the eyes of Madden developers, apparently, so he received a low rating of 82. 5 teammates were rated even higher, even though McLaurin was arguably the team's best and lone consistent player last season. McLaurin was hosed here, there's no other way to say it. We're expecting a climb to the high 80s real soon. Which player do you think got screwed over by their Madden 21 ratings the most? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, then like the video, we'd really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed yet, now's a great time to do that by hitting that subscribe button. And until next time, we'll see you here at DPS for more cool videos. Every day. Multiple times a day sometimes. You never know. Tune in.